Rod, we are back. This is the Fin Out of Water Football Podcast. I am your host with the most, B Herbo. And I got my brother from another mother, Rod, man, in the building. And a
Yes,
round of
sir.
applause, man. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is a pleasure to be here with y'all. It is a pleasure to be here with you, Mr. Rod, man. And it is a
Sir.
pleasure to be here with all the football fans that we have down here, up there, out west, to the east, all across the globe, man, to do what we do and love the most, which is talk some goddamn football, man. So before we get into that, because you already know what it is mock draft season. It is who is going to be the savior of your team the upcoming season. This is the new destiny season. Before we get into all of that, man, Rod, how you doing, man? What is up, brother?
Man, listen, man, I'm blessed, my brother, man. I'm chilling here. You know what I'm saying? We here on a Monday doing our thing. Man, listen, man, I'm good, dog. I went to the Renaissance Festival yesterday, went to Taco Craft after, got lit. Great, man. Great Sunday, man. Great Sunday. I don't really get weekends because I work six
All
days a week,
right.
but
Talk to me
great
about
Sunday.
Renfest. I've always wanted to go to a Renfest, dog. Give me the like
You've never,
how,
dang, yo, that's
I've never
the
every
person I
time
went
I
with
like
yesterday told me the same thing. That's crazy.
bruh, every time I'm gonna go, cause it always creeps up on me. It happens every time the same year, but when Renfest is around, I'm like, oh crap, Renfest is around. So what was the theme this past Sunday? What was the theme?
Well, I didn't really when the time I went, I didn't really notice any particular thing, but it's the same like I was always been, bro. Just medieval shit. You know what I'm saying? They have like live performers who kind of enact in ways that like you have like a fire juggler. Sometimes they have like a sword fighting. It's like they have like two people who like basically stage as sword fighters. They have like they have like little rides for the kids and shit. They have food. I went kind of late, so what I normally love going for, there's two things I love going for the Ren
I
Fest.
know one of them. I know one of them.
I love going for the swords. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
you know what I'm saying? I'm amassing a sword collection, and then I love the turkey legs, bro. And yesterday, Herbie, your boy was heartbroken, dog. They ain't had no more turkey legs when I went,
Right.
man.
My
That shit was
apologies.
cold.
My
That shit was cold.
apologies.
It was cold, Herbie.
Me, maybe I projected onto you. You feel me? And that's not fair to you. But I thought you was gonna say one of the things that you love was seeing big old titties in your face, boosted by corsets, dog. Because that's what I go there for. That's what I'm there for. No
Oh, you see
disrespect.
plenty of that. You see
I'm
plenty of
going
that.
for the
You see plenty of
titties.
that.
I'm
You see
going for the
plenty of that, man.
cleavage. I'm going for the big jaguga gulas. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm. That's what I'm going for. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, I definitely there's two things I want to go. Definitely Renfest is on my list. And surprisingly, I'm gonna surprise you with this one. The big chili cook-off is on my list, my boy.
The big
I
chili cook-off.
Big chili
Okay.
cook-off is on my list. I have to go to one of them. I think it's like iHeart does it. My coworkers are telling me, man, it's a big ass party. You feel me? Now, granted, I will stick out like a sore thumb because I don't know shit about country music, but I'm bringing my cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, man. I'm finna fit in.
Hey,
I'm
fuck
finna
it
fit
up.
in. I'm finna fit
Hey.
in, man. But let's go ahead and let's talk some football, man, because that's what people are here for. That's what people want to hear. That's why people are a part of this community, man. So it is mock draft season. If you look at the cover art, bro, it is mock draft reactions. Everybody's talking about mock drafts. This is pretty much what you do. We have the draft coming up, I want to say in 3 weeks.
Yep.
And we just had the Cam Ward Pro Day, Miami, University of Miami, down here, close to us. They just had a pro day. Cam Ward killed it. He all but solidified that he's going to
That number one pick status,
going
yeah.
number one pick 100%. So the draft officially starts at number two. It doesn't start at number one. And that happens a lot. Now, this one was, at one point in time, Shador was expected to go number one. Shador was the favorite to go number one overall, or at the very least be the very first quarterback taken. But what happens is that, and this is a little secret. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people in the media, unless you are an actual scout or you're a college football fan, these guys don't actually know what they're talking about until they have time to really dig into the film. And the past 2 weeks, all of the media have actually had time to dig into the film. And once they actually dug into the film, it was obvious that Cam Ward was going to become the consensus. And that is who he is right now, man. So the draft starts at number two. The Browns are the number one overall pick. right? Like the Browns are going to determine everything that happens after this draft. If the Browns take Shador Sanders, there's going to be a lot of dominoes that fall. If the Browns take Abdul Carter, there's going to be a couple of dominoes that fall. If the Browns take Travis Hunter, there's going to be a lot of dominoes that are going to fall, bro. So the draft starts with the Cleveland Browns at the number 2 overall pick, man. But we already got the homie True Blazer. You already know. You already
True
know.
Blazer.
You already know.
True Blazer.
With one of the greatest comments of all time, man, in the history of YouTube live streams, man. Titties over turkey legs. Now,
Every day of the week.
every day of the week, man. But back to what I was saying. This is gonna be a draft where the Cleveland Browns are gonna shape this draft. The Cleveland Browns are gonna be the defining team that defines the 2025 draft, bro. And of course, the rest of the NFL is living on the hinges of the Cleveland Browns again, bro. How do we always fall in this predicament, dog?
Herbie, you know what they say, Herbie? History has a strange way of repeating itself, man. History repeats itself, man. The
right,
world,
man, so,
life is cyclical.
Man, let's go ahead and get into some draft boards, man. Let's get into some draft boards, man. So, I have two things. I have a mock draft. I have the mock draft from Mel Kiper. I have the mock draft from Nate Tice, who me and you were both big fans of. And then I have the 2025 consensus board, right? So I'll start with the consensus board because this is just showing where everybody is and what is the consensus overall. So this is not where people are drafted. This is just the consensus on what overall the top 32 players are, right? So consensus wise, it's Cam Ward, number 2 Abdul Carter, number 3 Travis Hunter, number 4 Shador Sanders, Mason Graham, Will Campbell, Ashton Genty, Armand Membu, and Tet McMillan. So, and with this, it pretty much gives you a projection of where the consensus of these players are going. Obviously, Cam Ward at number 1. Abdul, the consensus is that the Browns are going to take Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State. And then the consensus is that the Patriots will get Travis Hunter. So let's start there, man. How will you feel if Travis Hunter is in your division and you got to play that motherfucker twice a year, Rod? If this goes according to that projection.
Oh, the answer, Herbie, the answer is simple. I just got to hope he's a bust. That's it. I just got to hope that nigga a bust, man. I got to hope that he was only able to be Ron College. That's what I got to hope, man. Listen, man, Travis Hunter is a hell of a talent, man. Actually, what I'm kind of hoping, to be honest with you, Herbie, is that the Browns, I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns do get Shador, Herbie, because at the end of the day, quarterback is still a need for them. I don't know if they will actually, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I don't know how they feel about him, obviously. Cam Ward is definitely going to be the first one gone. So
100%.
I think the Browns will end up taking Shador, and I think the Patriots may end up with Abdul Carter. Although I think regardless, right, the Patriots do need receivers. They're going to want to give Drake May a weapon, right? So, if the Pats get him, we'll see what happens, dog. We'll see if he terrorizes the Dolphins for years to come. We'll see
that would be funny if he ends up terrorizing y'all for it. Well, obviously, because this is a Dolphins podcast, so no, it won't be funny, but it'll be funny. But
hey, my man JPS, you want to see that shine? Let's see that shine, boy. He said he wanted to see the shine. He wanted to see the shine, dog. Got you, boy. Boy. JPS in the building.
Let's go back to Shador though, real quick. We don't got to spend too much time, man. But Shador, man, that dude is a lightning rod. He brings out conversations. He brings out people's feelings, right? So we just put up a video of Shador. It was a short, and then all we said, me and you, this is from last week's pod or last week's live stream, was, hey, if he makes it past the Giants, we don't know where he's going. If you don't say that Shador Sanders is going in the top 10, it is a slap in the face, and people see that as a sign of disrespect. Dog, what y'all want me to do, bro? Like, I just give you my honest opinion, bro. People don't play about Shador Sanders, Rod. They ready to fight.
Here's the thing, though, Herbie. It's not like every team in the top 10 needs a quarterback, right? You still have talented players like Abdul Carter. You still have Membu. You still have Will Johnson. You still, like, Herbie, there's still talent. Like there are teams that have other needs. So if the teams that don't need a quarterback pass on them, who's gonna draft them? Of course, it's gonna fall. It's just logic. I don't
It's
know
just
why
logic, man.
people get to in their feelings. Like you know what the problem is today, Herbie? People take it too personal when it comes
Yes.
to talking about these things. Like, listen,
Yes.
all we're doing is speculating. Every single person who talks about the draft, I don't care how much you love the draft, I don't care how much you know, how much you research. None of us know until the day comes. Every single time the draft comes around, there's always some trade up that happens,
Mm-hmm.
some WTF pick. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Every
listen, at
year.
the end of, every year. So at the end of the day, like, look, we're not saying that we want him to fall. It'd be different, Herbie. If we
Absolutely
said, man,
not.
man, fuck Shador, nigga, fuck him, let that nigga fall. You know, like if we were saying that, I could understand the vitriol, right? But Herbie, all we're saying is, if the teams that don't need a quarterback pass on him, why would a team that doesn't need a quarterback draft him? He's gonna fall if that's the case.
Exactly.
Simple
Exactly.
as
And
that.
again, we
Simple as that.
we did elimination. We did process by elimination, right? Like the NFL told you how I felt about this draft class, just for the simple fact that so many, in my opinion, mediocre quarterbacks got a lot of money to play quarterback next year. If this was a draft class that people were very enthusiastic about or people were very excited about, Justin Fields is not getting $40 million from the Jets. The Raiders are not trading for Geno Smith. These are teams that need quarterbacks, and they made decisions on this draft class. So again, if he does not get drafted by the Giants, which is not no guarantee, I don't know where he goes. And that still applies. But again, he could go as early as the Browns, and he could go as late as the teens or the 20s when somebody drafts, trades back in to take him, right? So it is what it is, man.
And JPS, man, you a funny guy, man. Listen, the
Man, listen,
Dolphins,
dog.
the Dolphins have far more pressing needs than fucking taking Shador, man. Trust me, we have far
Come
more
on, man.
needs,
Come on,
man.
man. All right. Let me go ahead and look at this little mock draft on my end. I don't know what the heck happened. Do you see the mock draft or no?
No, I do not see it right now. It says
I got
awkward.
you. My bad. I know what happened. That was my bad. All right. Boom. There we go. You see it now?
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Okay. So we can go with the mock draft. This is not the consensus. What I just had was the overall. It wasn't how they were ranked. It wasn't a mock draft. It was just the top 32 players by
The average,
consensus.
yeah, the
The
average,
average,
yeah.
right? This is an actual mock draft. So again, Tennessee has Nate Tyson. This is Nate Tyson, by the way. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's look at Mel Kiper's. That's the one we need to look at because he's the godfather of mock drafts, man. So obviously we should start with him, man. Share this type of set. This is Mel Kiper's. If I try to make it bigger, but this is as big as it's gonna get, unfortunately, guys. I'm gonna try my best. And boom, right? So Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, right? Boom. Now it's a crapshoot, man. And let's go straight to number 13, man. Miami Dolphins. Mel Kiper has the Miami Dolphins. Knock, knock. The Miami Dolphins are drafting within the 10 to 15 range again. Tell me what's new. But they are drafting, according to Mel Kiper, he sees them taking offensive tackle from the university. I want to say he's LSU, right? If I'm not mistaken, LSU. Yeah, LSU. Will Campbell, man. So how do you feel about that, Rod?
Herbie, I'd be okay with Will Campbell, Herbie. To be honest with you, Herbie, I'm not quite sure Will Campbell will actually fall to us, dog. I mean,
I
I'd be
don't know
happy.
because the thing with Will Campbell is that he has literally the borderline arm length to be an offensive tackle. 33-inch arms, right? That's the borderline. There's only 3 offensive tackles in the entire NFL that has arms that short. That means you're a guard if your arms are that short.
Well, but Herbie, that's what we would need him for. That's what we would need him for, right? In
Right.
my opinion, I would hope that someone like Kelvin Banks falls to us, right? Like he has his weaknesses, Herbie, but he also has like a combination. First of all, he's an ascending run blocker, right? He's an explosive player. He has power. His technique is continually improving. So,
And
I
he
would
is
look
an
at
incredible athlete.
yes.
He is
So,
strong as shit. He's big as hell. He has very long arms. He's the complete opposite of Will
mhm.
Campbell in that Kelvin Banks is the better athlete. Will Campbell is the better quote unquote technician, right? But
Right.
I can teach you how to block. Now, if you end up becoming a good blocker or not, that's on you. I can't
Right.
teach you how to be an explosive athlete with that physical profile that Kelvin Banks. Because again, coming into this draft process, Will Campbell was guaranteed the number one, the most consensus, and then that changed, bro. You have 33-inch arms, bro. People are gonna be like, ugh, right? Like that's just how the NFL is, though, man. Like the
Physical
NFL is
traits
a big
matter,
man
man.
games. Physical traits
man.
matter, dude. Like if you have to be excellent for the NFL to exist outside of the parameters of the standards, right? So, and let's transition over to Nate Tice and see where Nate Tice has you guys, man. So let me go ahead and share this tab instead. And bada bing, bada boom. So let's go ahead to 13, man. Got you guys taking Malachi Starks, man. So that just tells you we got two different mock drafts, two different players. Offensive tackle or a safety, man. So how do you feel if you guys were to take a safety, Rod?
I'm perfectly fine with that, Herbie, because we lost Javon Holland. Jordan Poyer was a lemon. And that's a spot that we really need. We only really addressed it with Melfonu, right? The safety from Detroit. We could most definitely use someone else in the secondary. There's a couple other guys too that I was looking at. I haven't finished looking at all the film on some guys, Herbie. Us being working men, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to watch all this film sometimes, dog. But
no, we're
I'd be
going
okay
to
with
because now that we have a consensus on like who is more than likely gonna be there, because it's like, yeah, we could look at film, and that's normally what we do, right? We look at film of who is gonna be around there for you guys to draft. Now that the board is starting, the consensus is coming around, we know who to identify on. We know, okay, we could watch a bunch of Kelvin Banks film. We could watch a bunch of Malachi Starks films. We could watch a bunch of Omari Hampton film. You feel me? If you guys, for whatever reason, might end up drafting a running back, right? Like we have the guys that we know is going to be around that age and we could focus on. Let me see. Let's see here, man. John Paul says, I think Will Campbell possibly goes earlier, though. You guys really think Travis goes to the Patriots? Again, it is entirely up on the Cleveland Browns if Travis Hunter goes to the Patriots, right? The Patriots want Travis Hunter. Shit, I want Travis Hunter. Who doesn't? In my opinion, he's the best football player in the entire draft. So it just depends on if anybody takes Abdul Carter and anybody takes Shedeur Sanders. There is a line for Travis Hunter to end up on the Patriots, man. But we also need to focus in on another team, man. And that team is the Green Bay Packers. And I'm gonna let you wonder, why are we focusing on the Green Bay Packers, man? Well, because we have a Packer fan that's infiltrated.
Yes, sir.
Pey Dro in the building. Bro. In our ongoing Meet the Homie series, man, on this, man, we had Jam Porch Jack, we had JPS, we had True Blazers. This week, we got the homie Pey Dro, longtime friend, personal friend, the homie. And this is another example of all of our actual friends not being Dolphin fans, bro. This shit is crazy,
hilarious.
Bro. Like,
hilarious, because we're not all Dolphin fans. We're not all Dolphin fans. Ain't no way. We can't all live a tragic life, okay?
This is crazy. All of our friends that we actually know in real life don't rock with the Dolphins, Rod. Talk to me, man. Do you feel that, like, do you take that as a personal threat, bro? Because clearly, what's going on, dog?
Listen, Herbie, man, I feel y'all, man. Y'all are wise men. Y'all chose the path of non-punishment, dog. As for me, Herbie, I chose the path of masochism. That's what I did. That to be a Dolphin fan is to be a masochist, Herbie, and I'm here for it. Man, it's too late. I stuck myself to the wrong wagon, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's all.
He's a risk taker. That's what it sounds like. All Dolphin fans are risk takers. Y'all the type of motherfuckers that jump off a cliff into some water or some extra shit. Okay?
Yeah. All right, man. So, Dro, man, Green Bay, Wisconsin is a very far place from South Florida, bro. How the hell did you end up being a Wisconsin Cheesehead, my brother, aka Green Bay Packer, my guy.
So, my younger years, my very first real football game, actually watching the football game, was an old Brett Favre Green Bay Packer game, and Brett Favre kind of lit up the scoreboard, and that was kind of it for me, to be honest. Like I can't exactly remember what game it was, but yeah, that was it for me. I saw that boy in action. I was like, okay, Green Bay look like something, and I just kind of got attached to him.
Oh
That's
no,
just
you know what? That's I tell that story all the time on the podcast. That's what happened to me. Like right, like I didn't really understand football. I turned it on one day. I saw Quincy Carter, and I don't even know if he was good that game. It's been that long. Like the odds that it was a good game is slim to none. Because Quincy was bad a lot, so I was probably just like, "Ooh, that's a cool guy," and I've been a Cowboys fan ever since, man. So, now so where do you want to start, man? You want to go down memory lane, man? You want to go down some of your most moments, your favorite moments being a Packers fan, bro? Like
I
go
could
ahead and
tell.
give it to us,
I could
man.
probably tell you. I could probably tell you one of my favorite moments as a Packers fan. First off, probably winning that 2010, 2011 Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Let me put
against
that
the
up first.
against the Steelers. Yeah, that was
But
crazy.
but if you want to be very honest, um, I think we played the Lions. I think we played the Lions, and it was a Hail Mary, and I was just calling the Hail Mary the whole fucking time. I just seen the way it was going to happen. Rogers kind of broke off of a fucking tackle, rolled out, and he kind of just threw it. And I think the tight end, it was something. It was another Rogers that was the tight end, if I'm not mistaken. But you could see him under everybody. Like he was kind of in front of everybody in front of the end zone, and that ball was coming down. And everybody kind of was setting up for it. And he kind of had the angle to kind of get up under everybody and get it. And it worked out the way I was watching it. Like that's a catch, that's a catch. And it kind of landed in his hands, and I was like, okay, I can take that. Like let me. But I also have a worse too. I have a worse.
Oh, your quarterback was Brett Favre. I know you got a couple of those. Like that playoff
But
game against the Giants when he threw
hey,
that hit in the
but you can
snow.
say that with Aaron too. I can't lie, boy. Listen, like we had two great quarterbacks back to back, and I can always say that part. Like we were blessed to keep good quarterbacks in line, from Favre to Aaron to now Love. Hopefully, Love becomes a lot better than what people expect, anyways. But I feel like throughout that process, they both fucked up a lot. Like I seen them both do some funny shit.
Let
So
me ask you something, dude. Do you feel like, because I always wondered this, and I know you're a real Packer fan. With the great quarterbacks that you've had, do you feel like you guys have kind of underachieved? Like me as a Dolphin fan, I didn't grow up, I didn't have the opportunity to watch Dan Marino, right? But
yeah,
just knowing the history of football, knowing how great he was, and knowing that he only went to one Super Bowl and didn't win any, that's a big, massive failure on the
yeah,
franchise,
yeah.
right? But you guys, Brett Favre won one, Aaron Rodgers won one, but do you feel like you should have won more though?
Yeah, me personally, I feel like I hated as I grew up as a fan. I started to realize I kind of hated the way the whole entire free agency and drafting process went with them. They didn't want to pull anybody that was serious at the time. They wouldn't pay no money to nobody. To be honest, as I started growing up in the years, I'm like, y'all going to pay some big money to somebody, get us somebody that's important, but they never cared to. Now this generation is starting to do it a little bit more, but that line wasn't like that. Like that line life of living with the Packers growing up, it was a lot of they just gonna keep what they draft. So it was a lot of years of we had chances to have teams. I watched a lot of people develop from Jordy Nelson to freaking we can go back to Donald Driver if you want to go way
Yeah,
back.
Donald
But
Driver,
Donald
but
Driver,
Sterling
but
Sharp, Greg
watching
Greg
Jennings.
Jennings.
Yeah,
exactly, Greg
Yeah.
Jennings was a beast too. But yeah, just watching them grow, and then you had that next generation that came in. Aaron had his crew basically, right? So his crew ended up being
James Jones,
freaking
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy
Uh,
Nelson. What's buddy with the colorful eyes? I can't think of his name right now. Cobbs,
Oh,
Randall
yeah,
Cobb,
Rent a
Randall
Cobb,
Cobb.
yeah.
So I feel like
Cap.
now throughout that process, we watched where that process was them, and then Devontae came in, and Devontae kind of just started growing to be better than both of them at the time. Um, so I felt like throughout the time we did do good with drafting some. I hated our defense. I hated our defense since championship defense. To be honest, it's always been we've always been a on and off defense, and that always scares me with the situation. You'll have plays where they make amazing plays, and you have plays where they blow it. And it's like I hated that part of our defense. Our defense, especially in the coverage, always seemed to be a skeppy situation. I'm talking like since probably Charles Woodson. Like ain't nothing else touched that field since like that really played DB and was doing something. It wasn't Charles. It was Charles. It was Charles.
Yeah,
It's
Charles
two.
was
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't Rob. Rob was with the Raiders. But yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Charles. But it was like him coming down, playing the middle. Sometimes we had shit like that. That was a very creative ass fucking DB we had, and I haven't seen one like that since, to be honest. But
Well, I mean, we just in a new era where it's like those kind of guys. You realize how rare they are. Like I was watching some one of my favorite football people on the YouTube space, bro, Brent Coleman. He just did a series when he went back and just watched film on a whole bunch of dudes. He did film breakdowns of Patrick Willis, and he did film breakdowns of Darrell Reeves. And his takeaway was, I'm never comparing nobody to these dudes, bro. Like these dudes are just so ridiculous that it don't even make sense. Like Charles Woodson is in that class. Charles Woodson, he could put him at linebacker. That's, you feel me? That's why y'all won a championship.
crazy
He won
it was.
he won defensive player. Yeah.
They playing linebacker and spying on the QB. Trust me.
Hold on, let me get to some of these comments, man. Comments going crazy, man. This one I really want to highlight, man. For the homie Raffy, I felt like that man was Nike Jordan of his position. I'm on the West Coast. Father diehard Raider fan from LA, man. It never rains in Southern California, baby. The homie Pap says, man, the defense y'all had with Clay and AJ in the middle was pretty good. I remember those defenses.
That's
Clay Matthews and AJ Hawk. Yeah.
That championship team, man. Listen,
for sure. For sure, man.
Bro,
For
I'll
sure.
never forget that. I'll never forget this game. I always remember these random games from other teams. There was a game that y'all played that championship season against the Jets where the Packers won the game 9-0, bro. Like you guys were capable of win against the New York Jets, you know, that had the Darrell Revis and Mark Sanchez. Like I'll never forget. I remember watching that game and thinking to myself, like, damn, man, like the Packers can't do shit. But the defense was so great.
Doing something, yeah.
So well, yeah, like you know what I mean? And I think sometimes like when you have a great quarterback for your franchise, you would like for them to have been paired with not always a great defense because that's hard to do all the time.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady always consistently had top 10 scoring defenses. Right?
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean? So you know, if we would have seen a lot more of these other great quarterbacks like that, it's a shame that teams get great quarterbacks and can never keep a defense for them. It's
one of those.
It's hard to pay everyone.
Yeah, it's hard to pay everybody.
Right?
Facts.
It's hard. Yeah, because you got to understand. You got to. What's the math? Right. The math is 4 or 5 people. 10% of the team is making 80% of the money. Right?
Exactly. That's which that's what I wanted to say too. It's like it doesn't make too much sense. You can pick out 5, 6 at max guys that get money that are like your star players, and then you have to take mediocrity everywhere else, or kind of put mediocrity where it lands, where it kind of makes sense in order to create the rest of the team. It kind of doesn't make too much sense anymore in the NFL.
At all. So let's go ahead, because, I always try to have this commonality between, the guest who might be a fan of another team and then, the Dolphins side, bro. So there's 2 things I want to do before I want to go ahead and bring it back to the Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers conversation, man. And, right, like Pap said, bro, the 3 people got making 90% of the money, right? They don't even, they still got to pay Trey Hendrickson right over there.
And the Bengals, right?
Yeah, with the Bengals, man.
I know.
That's crazy. All right, so what's up? Hey, Joe, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Why your team is 7-10 versus the Dolphins all time, bro? What's up with that, dog?
I can't really explain, man. First off, let me say this. My most important years, the most important ones that landed when I ran into all the Dolphins fans, we were winning them, so I really wasn't worried about it. The
That's
earlier
pretty
years,
cold.
yeah.
That's messed up, man.
I'm just being honest. So look,
that's fucked
of course,
up, man.
you know where you at. So down here, it ain't nothing but a bunch of Dolphins fans. I work with a bunch of Dolphins fans, so every time we play, it's up there. You get me? So there's always some pressure. So the last good couple times that we had to meet up, and it's not every year, so it's every couple of years. We've been tapping though. I just look that up. Right?
I'm looking at it right now, Rod. Y'all going outside, right? So the funniest thing about this is that the Dolphins and the Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers, those are two foundational football teams, right? It ain't too many foundational football teams. You guys have only played 17 times since 1971.
Out of conference,
y'all play literally almost every 4 years. So
yeah,
71, 75, 79, 85, 88, 89, 91. That was the closest, that little stretch. And then 91, 94, 97, 2000, 2002. And then 4 years, every year, 4 years after that. 02, 06, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, and then 2024. That's crazy. When I looked this up, I'm like, y'all only played this short amount of times. And to piggyback off of what Dro said, yeah, they've been spanking shit, Rod. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
bro.
recently, the recent times.
Well, you know what? You know what's messed up, man?
Recently. I think we just played a year ago.
Listen, man,
like
and that was
last season, man.
The last couple times we played the Packers, I've finished those games just staring at the TV like, damn, bro.
God damn it,
they've been some frustrating ass games, bro.
And of course, bro, here go people trying to add injury to insult, man. You got Jack in the thing called my sorry ass.
Man, listen, man.
Go
worry about the Chiefs, bro.
Man. Worry about the Chiefs, man. Worry about your receivers. Go get some receivers.
Go Chiefs.
Go get some receivers. How about that?
We just got a receiver from them too. We got a receiver.
Yeah. Go get your man's back. Why McCall Harvin said, "Go get your man's back." How about that? Harvin left you. All right, man, and boom, right here, man. Dolphins can't play in the cold weather and can barely win at home. Pure trash. We don't rest the all season, bro.
Everybody, you in a whole other conference, bro. I mean, a whole other fucking division, dog.
Like, he talking crazy. He talking wild, man.
What the Dolphins did to you, my boy?
Just hurt, bro. We got wide receivers. They just stay in jail.
Hey, Miami got one too. They got a lockup. They got a lockup king too.
All right, man. So this is another thing I wanted to look at, man. The history of players that play for the Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers. So it's not that big of a list. You got your boy Mark Clayton, man. Dudes leave the Dolphins and go to Green Bay, and their career just go like they just shit just hits the.
But
that shit hits the toilet.
That's our team. That's for our team, but for other teams, they seem to blow up.
No, but you know, because my thing is, and this is no disrespect to the Green Bay Packers, it's a phenomenal franchise, obviously, right? But if I'm leaving the Dolphins and I'm going to Green Bay, that means I'm at the end of my career, and because I can't go from South Beach to Wisconsin, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
But it goes back and forth. It goes back and forth. Because Greg Jennings came, bro. Greg Jennings left y'all, and he came to Miami, bro. And he gave the homies 200 yards, man. He gave Miami 200 yards.
All right, well, we
y'all took the older Greg Jennings, though. That was
he came to South Beach and said, "Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm vibing, man."
Exactly.
Yeah, man. We took Al Harris from y'all, man, and that boy gave us 3 games, bro. He was on vacation, dog.
That's why I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Listen, y'all think we wreck players? Think about it, okay? To be honest, most of the players at one point in time, and it's probably I want to say high school, coming out of high school. You got the Dolphins were known for letting go of players or trading players that became all-stars other places. Y'all had Wes Walker. Wes Walker was a forever monster. Wes Walker was a punt returner, a kickoff returner, and a here and there receiver for you guys. Wes Walker went to the goddamn Patriots. That man up in the charts now. That boy got rings and shit now. That boy can talk a little shit now. Man,
he almost became a Hall of Famer, man.
Man, listen, he chasing right behind it too. It's like
it's not that many people, right? Like, man, Kenya Drake came over, man. Kenya Drake left them boys, you know, did a little thing with the Dolphins for a little bit when he left the Packers, man. But it ain't that many people, bro. I was like, you know what? Like, you just don't see that kind of crossover, bro. Like, the thing about the Green Bay Packers, bro, like people who go play for Green Bay, if you're drafted there, like there's something to be said about playing for Green Bay. Like there's this pride that goes associated with it, right? Like a lot of those dudes, like Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson and all those dudes, they didn't really want to leave. Like there's something about playing in Green Bay. I couldn't do it because I ain't trying to freeze my ass off, bro. But
Hey,
them
the
dudes,
homie
they
But
love
Knuckles
you
it,
just
also
man.
said
you
it,
also got to
man. The
understand.
homie
You also
Knuckles just said it.
the culture there is different though. You also got to understand Green Bay is one of those teams that's owned by the whole entire town.
Yeah,
Like so it's like the respect there is different. Going there, the life there that they live is completely different. They don't live a lifestyle where it's like, completely city life and everything else. They shut the whole city down to go to Green Bay games. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, like,
There's a
if y'all
fucking
ever been up to
waiting
the
list
muck,
for
y'all ever
that.
been up
there's
to
a
the
waiting
muck?
list,
Yeah,
bro.
I don't know if y'all ever played football and went up to the muck. If you go into the muck and play football, the whole city, look, everything out there black, everybody at the game. And that's how Green Bay is. Green Bay is like they're completely associated with the football team. So it's like everybody is part of it. So I
And
could
for
I could
those
see
who
why
don't
that
know
life
what
is
the
different for
muck
people.
is, that's like Belglade and that era,
Yeah.
Pahokee, that era,
No,
Pahokee,
it's
Florida.
definitely, no,
So
definitely.
yeah, so anybody who might not be confused with what the muck is, but yeah, man, like it's one of those places like it is a real football town, like
Hmm.
like Jack said, bro, it's title town, bro. Like there's pride to that, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
thing
most
about being
definitely.
down here in South Florida. There's so much stuff to do. There's so much things to do and so much things to see that you don't. It's not live or die with the Dolphins. However, when the Dolphins are good, it's a different beast. It's a different energy. Like when that little stretch 2 years ago when it was dropping shit going 70 points, dropping 70 points. When I went out, like I went to L House packed. I couldn't get a seat. I had to leave, right? Like, and that's why I don't think the Miami doesn't get a good rep or Dolphins fans don't get a good rep. And we always try to, highlight that. He's like, no, there's Dolphin fans everywhere. Dolphin fans love the fucking Dolphins. Dolphin
Well,
No,
here's
fans
the
most
come
thing,
out.
definitely. Most
Herbie.
definitely.
Here's the thing. The Dolphins fan base, we are starving for a winner because little do people from our generation know. If you're not like a football historian, the Dolphins have a pretty damn good football history. We're still one of the 5 or 6 most winning franchises in terms of winning games in the history of football. But you couldn't know watching this team the past 30 fucking
Watch.
years.
Yeah, most
You
definitely.
know what I'm saying? Like, so the Dolphins have like a storied kind of history. The only undefeated team. We won back-to-back Super Bowls way in the fucking 70s. Like, God, I mean, I can't bringing that up doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That's.
you know what I mean? But at
I'm
the
in
end
that boat
of
with you, Rod, because
the day,
Green Bay got
it,
like the first few championships, but it don't mean shit. It
it
wasn't
don't
even
do
Yeah,
a
like
Super
it
shit
Bowl
wasn't
yet.
even
then,
called the Lombardi,
It
bro. It
wasn't
was the
even. It wasn't even.
NFL
Right.
Yeah. But
championship.
you know
Yeah.
where the Lombardi come from, though.
Yeah,
That's the
comes
important
from
stuff.
Vince,
You feel me?
man.
From
Comes from
Title
Vince,
Town.
man. All
Most
right, let
definitely.
me get to some of these comments, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back to the Brett Favre conversation, man. So True said, man, the Finns return in 2026. That is true, bro. 4 years. Well, actually, that would be 2 years. That'll be 2 years instead of the 4 years. Rob, man, matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna save that one. I
He said,
want you to
"I'm gonna
react to that
save
one,
it."
man. Jack man says sounds like wide receivers that leave elsewhere and go to Miami don't see no. What is your problem, bro? Like you're a Chiefs fan, bro. I
You
know
know
what
what
it
happened?
is.
I
I
know
know
what
what
happened.
happened. I know
Jack
what
lost
happened,
a
bro.
lot of money with these boys, boy.
He lost a lot of money.
He done
You
lost a
feel
lot of
me?
money with the
A
Dolphins,
chick
man.
that he
That's what
liked
that
was a
is.
Dolphin fan that broke his heart, bro. So he like fuck the Dolphins ever since. We get it, bro. We get it, dog. All right,
Damn, that's
man.
deep.
The homie Pap says, man, and he's talking about Green Bay, bro. That place is trash. Literally nothing there.
I
Your
believe
words,
it.
not mine. Green Bay Packer fans, do not come after us. We do
Nah,
not
nah, most
speak for the
definitely.
community, man.
It's, but you know something. So look, don't get me wrong. Even I've been to a Packers bar before. It's not the atmosphere of the people, and in the right, say it in the right way. It's not the atmosphere of the people that I would actually hang around. Right. If I wear my Green Bay shit, we all Green Bay fans. We turned up. You know how it is. Going to any
Yeah.
game, no matter what color, what it is, we gonna turn up. But it is a very slow town. It's slow. It's nothing to do there. Like you're gonna go there and find nothing to do but go to a football game, possibly. That's it. So unless you got another football game to go to or something that's important to the town, ain't shit else to do there. But at the same time, where football comes to it, oh yeah, we own that though. We own that.
Man, Rod, you were right, man. Jack said when Trick said I lost that because I bet it with the Dolphins, man. I felt that. We all felt that. We all felt
Why do you
that.
think I never bet with the Dolphins, man? I learned my lesson years
You don't bet.
ago.
You don't bet. You don't
I ain't
bet
gonna
with the
let these
All
Dolphins.
right,
niggas
man.
ruin my
We got the homie Prescott, man. First time in the chat, man. Now hold on, man. Relax, man. Relax. Hold on, man. This man talking crazy, man. The homie said receivers at the signing with Miami, bro, is washed up.
So Tyreek Hill having his 2 best seasons, it means he's washed? Come on, bro.
Wait, what talking about? What 2 best seasons? Not last season.
The 2 seasons before though.
The
He had
2
his-
seasons
Oh, the 2
before
seasons
that.
before.
The
Oh,
2
Yeah.
seasons before that.
he was
All
going
right,
He's
for
been-
1,000 yards back to back.
But
Yeah.
but
Let-
he was almost out of there in all reality. Like he basically he told y'all to kiss his ass and they came back and apologized.
Oh yeah, that doesn't spell anything good, of course.
Yeah,
At all, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I would let that go for something else. While he's still valuable, let his ass go. That's my personal
Hey,
opinion.
we talked about trading him. We talked on
He's
this show. We talked about trading.
he's not me. My personal opinion. I feel like there's more face to him than who he really is. I don't see him be. He has his 1,000 yard seasons. Okay, we get that. He's not like he's a nobody. He's a cheater. He's fast, but the headache that comes with him sometimes, I'll be like, you can get a lot more out of him before he gets loses out of his prime than to deal with his shit. That's my personal opinion.
No, you know what? And you know what? I can tell you this about Tyreek, and maybe Jack could actually fill me in on this. He could probably chime in on this too. I don't know how it was when he was playing with Mahomes, but I've seen Tyreek drop a lot of key passes, dog. Like he is the type of guy when
So
you
that's
need
where
a
I'm coming
third
from.
down, when you need a touchdown. There are times where it's like you can't depend. Tyreek is a game breaker, but he's a game breaker for what he brings to the table. In terms of him situationally changing games, he doesn't do that like some other receivers do. Like
He
I
definitely
watch
doesn't.
a Bengals game and I watch Jamar Chase. I'll see Jamar Chase change the complexion of a game himself. Like he will make the play to make it happen. You don't
Hey,
really
what you
see that
telling?
from Tyreek like that. You don't really
We've
see that.
all seen.
Yeah.
We seen Cooper Cup do that in the damn Super Bowl where goddamn what's
Facts.
his name went down. So you see people do it, but honestly, I agree completely with you. I don't see Tariq being the person that's my go-to man. No, yes, sometimes he will burn the defense, and you could throw that bitch up and he's gone.
Hey, hold
But
on. Wait. Like, listen, I agree with a lot of what y'all saying. But we're 2 years removed from this dude almost going for 2,000, guys. Like, let's come on. What are we doing? Come on now. Now, if you're saying that he's not that guy anymore, fine.
we probably
But
have that
he's
conversation.
seen that he can be the guy. And again, the thing about Tyreek, and this is where it's going to get tricky, and we've done this pod multiple times. We're going to continue to do this pod because it is such an important conversation to have. But Tyreek's value, even if he does not catch a ball in that game, cannot be overstated because he completely changes the math that you have.
He's got real
on
gravity.
defense.
Yeah.
He has real gravity, right? You know what I'm saying? That helps. Like, it might not show up for
100%.
your prize picks. It might not show up for your hard rock app, bro. But it shows up for the offensive coordinator. It shows up for the defensive coordinator. It shows up for both sides of the field, man. But now y'all are going crazy in the chat, right? But Rod, I want to get to this comment from Ralphie, man. It's about your boy Tua, man, and I want to get both of your opinion, you as well, Dro. Ralphie said, "Bruh," and I know he felt. I know. Ralphie meant that because that homie said, "Bruh." He said, "Bruh, I put a spork into it, not a fork, not a spoon. I put a spork into on Sunday night game, December 12th, 2023. I was at the game. We lost to the Chargers. Tua is a QB2, but Dolphins made him a QB1. Rod, the floor is yours, dog.
Rafi, look, I get it, man. Tua, and I remember that game because I remember watching that game because, listen, Dolphin fans, we have nothing but trauma, right? So the game before that game, 2 games before that game, I'm going to put this shit in perspective for y'all. Tua had got hurt that season, but he came back. This was the season when he was dealing with the concussions. We were, up until we played the 49ers, we were 8-0 in every game we played with them. So this was the year where Dolphin fans were thinking, okay, we had some. 49ers game comes. We lay an egg. And then, Herbie, this Sunday night game, Tua had one of the worst performances a quarterback has had in years. Like, he was like 10 for 28. So Rafi was clearly traumatized watching that performance. And that was arguably Tua's worst game, one of his worst games. I'm not gonna say he's not a QB1, but he's not. Tua's obviously not in the class of the best quarterbacks. Like Tua, to me, I don't think anybody can argue he's a starting level caliber quarterback. But the question is, you want a guy who's more than a starting caliber quarterback. A starting caliber quarterback can only get you so far. I think Tua is better than that, but he has never proven to be amongst the best guys. He can play well here and there against the best guys, but Tua's never. Go ahead.
I feel
Absolutely.
like
Get in. Get
I
in.
feel like listen, I feel like Tua was becoming somebody. I feel like I feel like every quarterback in the league when they come in and they're fresh and they're rookies and they do some shit. Like even Jaden Daniels, let's pray he doesn't have a sophomore slump, right?
Right.
Usually after a year or two of people of the NFL having film on you, all that extra shit don't work. All that loose moving around and all the extra shit you did to make plays, all that shit doesn't work anymore. So that's where shit really becomes important. I feel like Tua was in that gap where it was still unpredictable, but once he became predictable, Tua had you seen the elevation he had like drop drastically, and the reason for it, I feel like after a year or two of them watching you, watching film, getting studied, paying attention to what you do and everything that you do, it becomes a tougher game. That's when I feel like you become a better quarterback if you can live past that. So like even the Jada Daniels situation, nobody knew what he would do. Nobody could really understand what moves he's going to make, whether he's going to take off with the ball running, whether he's even going to throw this ball after he broke away from a fucking sack. You get me, shit like that. You don't know what he's going to do. After a year or two of watching him, people start knowing what to do. People
Yeah.
start
Pick
paying
up on your
attention to all his
tendencies.
habits. So
Yeah.
people pay attention. Your tendencies is going to give it away. So that's when things become a little bit bigger. I think after year two, year three for Tua, that's when it was like people started knowing Tua. Tua was a really good quarterback, but I feel like throughout that time, no, the Dolphins don't
You
want to let
feel
go on the fact that he was really
it.
good at the time.
It.
The same way the Cowboys, and I know you're a Cowboys fan somewhat, but the same way they didn't want to give up on Ezekiel or don't want to give up on Dak Prescott now. Dak is a really good quarterback. Same way Tua is. Are you guys a quarterback? Do you guys have a quarterback that can take y'all to a Super Bowl? No. And I even feel that with Jordan Love. Jordan Love isn't at that space yet. That's why I feel like even us taking a lineman made more sense only because they want Josh Jacobs to control the game.
Right.
And in all reality, that's probably what you guys really need is a really good running back. How y'all have Moiser. When certain running backs work for y'all, Tua looks good. In our situation was the same way. I feel like Jordan Love looked really good when Josh Jacobs has a real big total on his back. If you was to put the whole entire game in their hands, I don't see them coming out on an elite level. I still see them on that teeter totter where it's like, oh, I'm a really good quarterback.
Tier
I
two,
could
yeah,
be
like tier
elite, but
two
Yeah.
I'm
For
guy.
not there
sure.
yet.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
Well,
that's
this
where I
is
feel
what
like he lands at. And
Wait,
after
wait,
his
hold on, hold
concussion,
on,
I don't know.
Rob, before you get in and Dro, like I know you see me smiling. I wasn't smiling at you or laughing at what you were saying.
Not
This nigga
good.
Raffy said one of the funniest things I've ever seen, man. This nigga Raffy said Tua gave his gloves away to someone in the stands. I want to toss them back at
Wait, what? Tua gave his glove away to someone.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Rafi said he's seen enough, dog. Rafi said he's seen enough of the Samoan bond-slavery. Listen, this is
Whoa.
what I'll say to what you said,
Cause
though, Dro. This is what I'll say. When it comes to Tua and the
I'm
Dolphins,
taking the fuck out. I'm taking the fuck out.
when it
oh
comes
my
to Tua and the
God.
Dolphins, and I think this is where I blame the organization for all this shit. We have a good Dro. We have a good running back. Like we let go of Mostert because we have Devon Achan.
Yep.
People remember
A
his first
chain,
year.
You
No,
you're
A
never
chain, A
gonna
chain
see what
carries
he truly is
A chain,
capable of because
A chain
the off.
carries a load, and he's a screen. He's a beast coming out of a screen pass. But
no,
A chain isn't a monster running
no,
back.
bro.
He's
Let me
good.
tell you. No, Achan. Let me tell you, he can run between the tackles. The man is, bro. We use him as a slot receiver. He can run
Yeah,
routes.
That's
he
what.
can
Like,
run
But
routes.
he's a
that's my
versatile
point though.
guy,
He's you. He does
like a
so
Reggie
much
Bush
better.
kind of guy.
But that's what I'm saying. He does so much better at catching the ball. And I'm not saying he's not a running back, But
Oh,
you
he's
guys
a
need
running back. You
real.
got trust
You
me,
got.
bro.
He got vision.
You got to see that.
He
You got
got
to
some
see these
vision.
lines
I
that he's
watch him.
running behind,
I
man.
watch him, and I like him.
That man
And
is
that's why I
running
feel
into
like
a
it was
brick
okay that you
wall,
guys got rid of
dog.
Mostert because I feel like he could still. A
Yo,
Chain can still
sometimes he
do
runs
his
into a
thing.
brick wall, Dro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. He be running into a brick wall sometimes, man. The Great Wall of China, bro. That's sometimes he got to run blocking.
Berlin Wall,
The
man.
Berlin Wall.
That's what he running behind, bro. Running slap that bitch to that shit.
But y'all know that offensive line has been low key shit for years. Honestly, y'all seem like y'all
High
can't like y'all
key.
can't get a real O line together. I feel like if you guys had a real O line, Tua would be a lot better. And if we had that conversation in the process, you guys should run y'all division. The way things are going, because Aaron at the Jets went to shit. Like that went to shit. You feel me? Like the Patriots having Drake May is mediocre as fuck. Who was the last person in y'all fucking division? I'm trying to think right now. I don't know
Bills.
why.
Bills
The
done.
Bills. The Bills is the only motherfuckers that's there. And with Tua having a team around him, he could have had that. But I feel like y'all defense. I feel like y'all paid too much money on y'all defense, to be honest, at the time, because y'all don't have nothing that's star like.
Y'all are still paying for that Bradley Chubb deal, which was crazy. But I want to bring up this point because I want to go ahead and finish off with the Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, right? Not to cut y'all off, but I want to stick on the O-line part, right? Because I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and I think it was the Athletic Show, and it was Robert Mays and Derek Claxton or whatever, like real football nerd shit. But
I love that, bro. I love
yeah,
that.
so the conversation was about offensive line play and offensive line coaching, and they were saying how it was like I guess it was mailbag. So somebody like fans of the show wrote in, and one of the questions was, why is it that teams like the Eagles always have a good O line? For the longest, the Patriots had good offense, not great offensive line players, but good O line play. And what it came down to was that two things are happening when it comes to offensive line now, right? College football and NFL football are so different, and it's the most different it is at these two positions, wide receiver and offensive line. Wide receiver, it is different, but it's more translatable. College football for offensive linemen is a completely different game. They're
No,
not
most
doing the
definitely.
same thing,
No, the
right?
trenches are definitely different.
And what the guys were saying is that the people who are the best offensive line coaches are the people that could do two things the best, which is teach running and teach pass block, and most importantly, be the psychiatrist for all of these dudes, bro. And the reality of the situation is there's not 32 good offensive line coaches in the NFL. There might be
No, definitely.
4. It might be 4, which is why the Dolphins have done everything for as long as I've been alive, and they can't get right. As everybody they've drafted can't suck. So it has to be something else. Like it has to be something else.
Not since we had like Jake Long and Richie Incognito. Not since we had those days in the early 2000s, bro.
But even
Since
Richie
that time,
Incognito pushed out one of your other good linemen. What was the lineman he was bullying? He wasn't a
Jonathan
bad lineman.
Martin.
John-
He wasn't a bad lineman. He probably was
We
a
discussed
softie, but
that
he wasn't
shit.
a bad
Hey,
lineman.
but
You feel me? Like,
that was them boys was the Wild Wild West, man. They special teams coaches out here doing was fucking black hoes and doing
all
coke, bro.
type
So
of shit.
that was
All
the
type of shit.
Wild
Living their
Wild
best
West.
life. Living their fucking
Fuck
best
the
life.
Miami locker rooms, dog.
All right, man. Let's bring it. Hold on, let me get this right here for Raffy, and then we're gonna bring it back. NFL is going towards NBA, more scoring with these weak calls on tackling QBs. Dude from Maryland clearly traveled. Stevie Wonder saw that. Listen, I'm with y'all, but quarterback play is too bad for any of these dudes to miss games, bro. Like, I don't ever want to see Jacoby Brissett ever in my life ever again, bro. So if I got to deal with some bullshit calls to keep him off of the fucking football field, then so be it, bro. I'm cool with that. But let's take it back real quick, guys, because I wanted to go ahead and get this real quick, right? And one of the craziest things is how unbelievably similar Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre's careers
went. Yeah.
actually
Oh my god,
turned
I have
out.
something. I have something so big to say about that.
Well, let me paint the picture, then I'll let you go ahead and get in.
Please,
Obviously, because
please,
you way more
please.
you way more familiar with him,
Plugged
right?
in,
So,
yeah, yeah.
regular season head to head, they both won 2 games, they both lost 2 games. That's crazy. Like that's crazy.
That's hilarious, bro.
That's crazy. 153 to 87, 186 to 112, 65% completion, 62 pass yards, blah 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 blah. But this is where the shit. Now, granted, Brett Favre threw for 508. Aaron Rodgers threw for 503, but this is where it went crazy. Brett Favre was throwing that thing to everybody, man. That man had 336 career interceptions. That boy was giving it to everybody. That
Bro,
boy was giving the ball
Kirby,
to everybody.
there will never be another quarterback in the history of football on a shorter leash than Brett Favre. There will never be another quarterback.
Longer
No
leash,
one
longer
ever let
leash,
somebody
longer
longer.
leash.
My fault.
Longer
Longer
leash,
leash,
yeah.
bro.
I have to say
There
longer
will
leash
never
because,
be.
but you got to understand, like I realized between both of these quarterbacks, a lot of those big interceptions came along with big plays also. Like a lot of those Hail Marys came with interceptions.
Yeah, and it
If
was
they
different. It was a different time.
if
It
it
was
would
a
have been a
different time.
catch, if it had been a catch, like some of them happen, it's a all life 100 top 100 play. You get what I'm saying? But they did take chances, and the one thing that I didn't like throughout the transfer of both of them, later on in their career, they took a lot more chances than what they did early. Like I don't want to say, well, more than in the middle or at the peak of the career. At some point in time, they were just throwing shit. Like I know he gonna go get it. Fuck it, it's double coverage. Throw that
Well,
bitch up.
definitely Brett.
No,
Definitely Brett. But
hey, no,
hold on.
definitely Aaron. I can run you some YouTubes of Aaron throwing that bitch up for no fucking reason with double coverage. Like, what are you doing? It's not even in place. I'm like, at one point in time, I thought Aaron was throwing games. I was like, Aaron, if you don't want people tickets to hit, just say that. Like, what are
Yeah,
you doing?
that's normally what happens. But this is where it gets really spooky, and I'm gonna let you cook, Dro, because I want
Okay.
to get this. This is really where it shows. Like it's just eerie, right? Both have one ring. Aaron went to 10 Pro Bowls. Brett Favre went to 11. Aaron has 5 All Pros. Brett Favre has 6. Aaron has 4 MVPs. Brett Favre has 3. And they both should have a Super Bowl MVP. Like it's almost like a 1-to-1 career, and it's
Most
just
definitely.
crazy, dog.
No, it's
It
definitely
is.
crazy. Honestly, that's why I didn't want him to go to the Vikings. To follow the same path, and the Vikings would have probably been the best fit for Aaron Rodgers, to be completely honest.
And he
Listen,
halfway followed the path because he went to the
he,
Jets. They both went to the Jets.
no, that's where the path follows, right? So he went to the Jets. If he would have went to the Vikings, he would have completely followed his path.
Yeah.
And in that sense, to be honest, at that point in his career, what's the best option to move on would have been the Vikings. We just seen Sam Darnold have a crazy career there. Like he just got paid because of it. For Aaron to go there and Aaron to have at least the IQ that he has, Aaron would have been fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like Aaron now has this process where he is losing a lot of value because he's holding out so long on people. Like he could have, I'm pretty sure he could have been took a contract. He just don't want to take a contract because everybody knows there's this little Cinderella shit that he does every fucking season. Nobody knows what and I hate it. I promise you, like. I feel
Just
like
like Brett Favre.
Yeah.
so listen, exactly. I feel like I left Brett Favre doing that shit, and this is the conversation I want to have. I appreciated Brett Favre growing up in the beginning, and as he started going out, I'm like, bro, you seem like a shitbag. Like, and that's being very honest, right? And then I watched Aaron Rodgers, which Aaron Rodgers kept me lit up for years, right? This is me growing up. This is me now, high school, being a grown man, working and all this shit, having kids. I'm still into the process of Packer life, right? I'm watching Aaron for so many years. Aaron was my motherfucking nigga. Then all of a sudden, Aaron don't know what the fuck he's doing. Now he's doing the same Cinderella shit that fucking Favre did.
Brett Favre was doing, yeah.
And it's like it started every fucking year. We don't know whether he's coming back. We don't know if he's going to leave. Like, oh, sorry, we don't know if he's going to stay. We don't know if he's coming back. Then it came the process of, I think, a year later. Then it's the Devontae situation where Devontae can leave, and he don't know if Devontae leaves, he's going to leave. Or if Devontae stays, he might stay. Like, so all of this shit's been a bunch of dramatics through every fucking off season for him. That I feel like he's still falling into that same Brett Favre life, and now especially him doing the same shit. I'm starting to get that same bad taste in my mouth that I had for Favre leaving out. I'm starting to have that for Aaron Rodgers now, And it sucks because I really looked up to Aaron Rodgers as one of the top QBs in the league for so many years. I used to really look at his shit like Tom Brady's up there because of the rings, but Aaron Rodgers right here because of the actual quarterback he is. Like, I used to always be like, to me, Aaron
Yeah, that
Rodgers
was the
is
argument. That
easily
was always the
a better.
argument. Yeah.
To me personally, Aaron Rodgers was a better quarterback. Brady just was in a better system and always had a team. Brady always had a pretty good defense. For the years that he was winning, his defense was really good. We never fucking had a defense. I used to want to slap the shit out of the defensive coordinators. Like, you need to make some fucking calls to bring some people in to make your defense make sense. But it was always off of the draft. And a lot of these guys were pretty good. They weren't great. And I realized through a lot of those years, they were okay with, we're producing these guys. They're really good. These guys are doing some production, but the production wasn't at greatness. Like, we didn't have a Darrell Revis ass nigga. Like, we didn't have none of that. We had some good corners. Even this past 2 seasons, we had some pretty good corners. But at the same time, you see when they get their bomb to the fucking house, you be looking like, what the fuck did you do? Like, so a lot of times I fall in that process too. But I feel like the Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers situation is starting to give me a both. Both of them are giving me a bad taste. I already lived that bad taste with Brett Favre, and
Deja
I feel like
vu.
it's the same thing. It's
That's what
deja
it
vu
is.
with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm glad he didn't go to the Vikings. But I feel like the Steelers thing is still like it's still a bad taste. It's like you still went to the Steelers, bro.
Bro,
Like, that's
just
where you end your
retire,
career. Like,
bro. You're
He
not
ain't
gonna
going
get
out
that
like that,
ring,
man.
dog. You're not
He
gonna
can I
ain't
get
ask
going
y'all
that
out
this though?
like
ring.
Can I
that.
ask y'all this? Listen,
Go for it, man.
with the IQ that he has, do you feel like he actually should retire?
I'm always on the side, bro. Like, because at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with the legacy that you go out on, right?
Most
So,
definitely.
I don't think he wants to go out the way he went out with the Jets, right? Like,
Legacy's already bad. Legacy's already bad now because of that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went out kind of sad, right? You never
Real
want to go out sad.
Real
Like,
sad, man.
the Jets said, we don't want shit to do with you. He wanted to go back to the Jets, and the Jets told him to kick rocks. Like, you can't,
Bro, he's
in my
toxic,
opinion.
bro.
But
He's
Yeah,
I
so
feel like there's a lot bigger reasons for that. I feel like the Jets gave him. It's like having an old lady, right? And you tell her like she do whole shit. You be like, you know what, I trust you, so I'm gonna make you my old lady. And then after a little while, she started doing some whole shit. I feel like that's what happened with the Aaron Rodgers situation. Like you get me? Like he started doing some whole shit after basically coming to the Jets. Like, I'm gonna change this franchise. I need you to get this wide receiver. He had Lazard that came from Green Bay. He got Devontae Adams. He had Wilson, who was a fucking beast coming out of college. What
He
else
even
do you
brought the
really ask
coordinator,
for?
bro. He even brought what's his name?
Yeah,
Nathaniel
the
Hackett,
coordinator. So it's
bro.
like you brought
Yeah.
all this here, and then you showed me some whole shit. So I got to cut you off, and that's how I feel like the Jets process went. Especially getting a new fucking coach. Yeah, it's like I don't even want to deal with the process. Let's just start over and try to make it make sense because the drama behind this motherfucker is not it. I don't want a bitch who's always gonna be in some shit. Like, I need a bitch who's gonna just kind of just stay in place. Like,
Just
and
vibe.
whether
Yeah.
it's the best, hey, she might be a 6, but she stay in place. I try to talk to this 9, and she don't know how to act right. Like, that's exactly
Yep.
what it is.
all right. Okay. Before we get up out of here, man, we were gonna do a power ranking, but Rod, we already
We'll save it
pressed for
for the next
time,
one.
so
Yeah, we'll
save it for the next one. I'd rather use the time that we have to do something, and I want to get this reaction from everybody here as well as the chat, man. So one of the most unforeseen beefs of 2025, man. Cornerback beef, man. Legend beef. Legend with the super legend, man. How do y'all feel about Deion Sanders versus Asante Samuel, dog? Which was not on my bingo card. So, Rod, are you familiar with this?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you didn't know? You better
No.
call somebody, Rod. What about
I
you,
was
Joe? Are you
not.
familiar with this?
Sorry, you said me?
Yeah, are you familiar with what's going on with Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders?
No, but if there's a who's better than who, that's pretty easy.
No. So
No,
this
no,
is
no.
where it gets kind of tricky, right? Because long story short, Deion Sanders had a video where he was talking about a specific technique. It's called a T-step. That's some
Mm.
real cornerback talk. I don't know. That's Mandarin. That's real football talk. I don't know shit about
Okay.
it, right?
Fact.
But Asante Samuels tweeted, was like, that's some foolishness. You can't control everything. And basically, Asante Samuel had an issue with Deion Sanders saying that you should never do that. And Asante Samuel was saying, yeah, it's different. You're Deion Sanders. you had unbelievable athletic talent. Well, you didn't have to do this. And the gist of what Asante Samuel was trying to say was this is a fundamental thing that is very important to quarterback play, especially if you're trying to get picks. But the internet did what the internet did, which is ignore Asante Samuel's overall point, because he ain't do himself any favors. Because then he was talking about he compared the stats and all of that, and then you lost the plot.
Oh,
That,
no,
that that's what I'm gonna say. When they get to that, you can cancel that conversation.
yeah. You took an L there, boy.
But
Yeah,
the point I was trying to make, and I want to get your opinion, right, is that what the internet does is who they like the most, they're going to side with that person. Obviously, people like Deion Sanders more.
Of course.
So, fuck Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel's a Hall of Famer. They was
He
calling
definitely
him
is.
trash, a bum. You ain't never did shit. It's like, why y'all got to take it there?
Well,
Like,
you know,
It's the internet. It's trolls. It works that way.
you know what makes it funny to me though, bro? It's like we know you could choose. Obviously, most people will choose Sanders over Asante Samuel. But why is there a reason to bash Asante Samuel who actually knows what the fuck he's talking about? All the people who are bashing Asante Samuel don't know as much about playing cornerback as he does.
Of course.
People just but because Dion and him are at odds, people are just picking sides because of who they like more. And I just think we don't have to always just pick sides. We could just let them do their thing because we're not even on their level to understand what the fuck they even talk about to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Hold on.
Okay. So there is it's a large crowd that's always going to agree with Dion because he's Dion, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
When we talk about stats and shit, we can wipe all that shit out. We already know what's up with that. Dion wipes all that shit out. Now, in the process, what Dion was saying, was it wrong? When it comes to football talk, was it wrong?
Well, the thing, it's one of those situations where nobody's wrong, but I could see where Asante was coming from because ultimately what Asante was trying to do before he completely ruined his own point in typical Asante Samuel fashion was say, you are a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, right? Like, you should not be disregarding a fundamental trait that is going to help lesser athletes. That's what Asante Samuel was trying to say. Problem is, Asante Samuel grew up right there, a lot of their lakes, and went to BA. So all that nigga know how to do is say, fuck that, blah, 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 and not get his point across the best way. You know what I'm saying? But in the gist, that's where he wanted the box below. This is where my dog lost the plot. And he said, here's your yearly reminder. Now let's hear the excuses. Pick 6, T-Step King. You're not winning this battle, Asante.
At all.
Put it to rest, bruh. Put it to rest, my friend. Put it to rest.
And Asante already, his face is already dirty because he had beef with Darrelle Revis. And he says Darrelle Revis was a manufactured football player and he was only in the Hall of Fame because he played for New York. It's like, dog, Asante Samuel, you a hater. Like, he's a hater.
Like, were the Jets really that good at that time? Were the Jets was the whole entire Jets defense that good that they started calling Revis Island, saying that's a one-on-one matchup, nigga. That means you dealing with one-on-one type of coverage, and he usually wins. That's
09 Revis, in my opinion, to me, is the most impressive cornerback season that the cornerback's ever had. Now, we could argue the script, but again, you can't say that about Darrelle Revis when he had that season on tape.
He had Reggie Wayne. He had Reggie Wayne traumatized in a press conference.
Reggie Wayne, he held that man to 1 yard for one reception in a playoff game, bro.
It's one person that he could never fuck with was Randy. And that's the only person I
feel
like
he locked up Randy too. Listen, even
Randy did him dirty.
Randy got him one time when he pulled his hamstring. He pulled his hamstring, and Randy got him. And people go look at the stats. That man
most definitely.
He put Randy in the box too. Took away the key. The only nigga that gave him problems was Stevie Johnson because he had no idea what Stevie Johnson was gonna do. Because Stevie Johnson ain't even know what he was gonna do when he was coming off the line. But this is what I'm saying. No disrespect to Ralphie, but this is what I'm trying to say. Hey, you, what's your name? Dion. What's your name? You just like Dion, so you're going to take Dion's side. And again, all love to you, Ralphie, not trying to throw shade. Asante ain't do himself no favors. Asante did not do himself any favors because nobody, you can't compare yourself to Deion Sanders. I get it. But the point is that what got lost because the internet likes to pick favorites is you ain't Deion Sanders. How dare you try to tell Deion Sanders about playing cornerback when he really wasn't? He was actually overly showing love to Deion Sanders by saying he's so good that he doesn't need that technique.
extra technique.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And to lesser guys that are not fast, that don't run 4.2s, you might run a 4.5. Put that in your arsenal, man. Look what it did for my career.
It's like LeBron trying to tell you how to drive, right? Like in his style. Like, no, we're not built like you, man.
Yeah, Bronny
You
can't drive like LeBron. I get it. So I get that part of the process.
Yeah.
But what if the Deion process is like that trick to math, right? You know, some people do math and they got to break down everything, right? You know, if some people have math, they cut through have a couple of shortcuts. They like, how the fuck you get? Like, what if Deion is pulling that move? Like, what if Deion is pulling that card? Like, this might make you more effective as a DB if you're adjusting to this and not that. You get what I'm saying? Like the things that he did, for instance, if we look at Travis Hunter doesn't seem okay. He has a lot of technique, but he doesn't seem like the person that has the perfect technique. You watch him play football, he seemed like he's the person that's just super fucking elusive and he's on it. Like he's paying so much attention, he already sees what's going on before it happens type shit, right? Deion was one of those players, and that's why I get why this is a conversation. But at the same time, what if Deion is putting that step forward? Like, there's a comfort I had playing corner. There's some corners that you see that's like in a way Deion. Like, there's some corners that you see they backpedal and break out full speed, and there's some corners you see they like sidestepping and then break out and they locking shit down. Some corners aren't afraid of the wide receiver speed because they know how to adjust to it from what they're coming out of. I've seen some players play like the way a linebacker. I've seen a corner play the way a linebacker opens up, and it's so confusing to me until you realize this nigga's complete lockdown because his opening up isn't backpedal, trying to split open to try to get to where you got to get to. His just like, hey, I got the sideline cut off, back to the sideline, and I'm watching this man every move in an angle where I can adjust to it. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes I've seen a lot of corners that play in that process, like Richard Sherman was one of those players. Richard Sherman steps back a lot and opens up compared to this low down, we got to be super low, backpedal shit. You feel me? Like, he's actually just like, I'm wide to what's ever going on. I have my back to the motherfucking sideline. That means anything go behind me, I can open up to. And anything in front of me, I can make moves on anything. This motherfucker cuts down the field, I'm on his ass. This motherfucker makes a post, I'm on his ass. This motherfucker goes deep, I'm on his ass. And I feel like those certain players have the extra effect. Where it's not get super low, backpedal, and then open up. It's more like I can watch the field and I can see what's going on, play in this position, and play from that position.
And that's why you got man corners, you got zone corners, you got cover 2 corners, you got cover like 3 quarters.
The zone looking corners, looking corners that have super good coverage are the ones that look amazing. Those are the ones that look like the Deons. You get me? Like they're like a zone cover, but they still have all the athletics to still play man to man at any point. So it's like I can open up to anything that's going on. But when them players that have this only have zone coverage, and you get put on the island, you dead out there on that island. Like
that's why it's such an interesting conversation. Because at the end of the day, bro, refine your skills that work for you, right? Like you might be short, you might be big, you might be tall, you might be stocky, right? Just you got to find a technique that works the best for you. And with that, though, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. But first things first, man. Dro, man, appreciate you for coming on, bro. You fucking killed it, bro. Get the air horns, man. And we got to get your boy. We got to get the number 1 hater, bro. Have a faux block, man. Get your boy in here, man.
Don't do my dog, Jack, like that.
Yeah, number 1 hater, man. Jack, we know where you at, Jack. Where you at? The number 1 hater, man. We got to bring all y'all on, man. So appreciate everybody for being there. Raffy, Cap, Loco, Pap, Jack,
True Blazer,
Philly Prescott, True Blazer, man. Everybody was in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody, man. And we cannot wait to the draft, bro. So
Who you
We
telling?
won't be on next week, but we will be on the following week, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and try to clip a bunch of videos from this podcast to give you guys and feed the streets, man. But with that, man, we'll
Most
see
definitely.
y'all next time, man. Deuces.
Doses.
Yo, have a good one, y'all.